waiting for. As every player looks for a place in the quarterfinals, it's time for our third round action. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Isle of Wight, England, would you please welcome the former World Youth Champion, that is, the Needle, Keegan Brown! And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the Netherlands, Noppert, Noppert! And now, ladies and gentlemen, the referee in charge of the action, and without a shadow of a doubt, one of the greatest referees in the world today, the one, the only, the voice, Ross Brain!
Hello and welcome back to Prague for the Czech Darts Open. It is the final day of the inaugural Czech Darts Open, the first tournament the PDC's ever held in the Czech Republic. We've got 16 guys chasing the title. Some of them chasing their first Euro Tour title, some of them chasing their first title of any sort in senior PDC darts, and some of them also chasing spots at the Betfred World Match Play. It is a red-hot weekend that has seen some red-hot darts already. Massive checkouts, couple of 170s, a 9-darter from the Iceman Gerwin Price already, but only 5 seeded players have made it through to this stage. It was Seedageddon yesterday as big names tumbled, including the world number 1 Michael van Gerwen, who fell at the hands of that man in the pink, Keegan Brown, for the second time on the Euro Tour in 2019. The Needle, a man from the Isle of Wight, is looking to go on and make the final session, but standing in his way is another Dutchman in Danny Noppert. Both of these guys have won senior PDC titles, but they've not won them on big stages. That could change today. I'm Dan Dawson. That's Ross Bray.
Danny to throw first. Game on!
And this alongside me is Chris Murphy for the opening game of the final day of the Czech Darts Open. It's Noppy versus the Needle.
Thanks, Dan, and what a party we've had in Prague so far. As you mentioned, plenty of shots, plenty of drama, and plenty of quality on that stage. Keegan Brown providing much of it in that those last couple of legs against Michael van Gerwen yesterday. And of course, Keegan came here on a mission to secure a spot in the match play. He's not quite done that yet because of the outsiders winning and the chance that we might have a real surprise final
93.
and someone stealing a spot from out of the blue. But something will be made certain here, because if Keegan Brown wins, then he is in the World Match Play, definitely. He's very likely to be now, having beaten MVG yesterday. And if he loses, Vincent van der Voort is definitely in the World Match Play.
Yes, but James Wilson is another player who is tentatively there.
99.
And you made the point last night, Murph, that Raymond van Barneveld, who won't be at the World Match Play, had he tried to qualify for this, had this turned out as it has with all of these seeded players, no Wright, no Van Gerwen, and many other big names besides have fallen. What an opportunity. You've got players like Ron Meulenkamp and Jamie Hughes, who might steal into the match play in the final qualifying event. Barney might have been able to do it.
Well, had he entered that European qualifier, and you could slot him in perhaps the place of Danny Noppert or Ron Meulenkamp. Certainly be among the front runners to go on and reach the final. But Barney didn't bother.
Danny Noppert, the front runner in this opening leg. Keegan hasn't really sufficiently recovered from the opening visit in 24, but at least he does give himself a 2-dart checkout if there's a mistake by Noppy.
16. So double top. Gets it done on double 10. No mistake. Noppert gets his nose in front. Interestingly, Dan, this is Danny Noppert's 10th Euro Tour event that he's participated in, and it's the third time he's been on the final day. The previous 2 times he's gone on to reach the semi-finals.
Yeah, a lot of those last year, weren't they? He's not been on the Euro Tour as much this year, but that's because the qualifying criteria have become so much more taxing for tour card holders based in mainland Europe.
96.
So even a player of Danny Noppert's calibre, who's had 2 quarterfinals and 2 semi-finals and the floor events already this year, has only made it the Euro Tour event for the 3rd time
96.
this weekend.
Defending a perfect record, albeit from a small sample on the Euro Tour in the last 16, but kind of ran out of steam when he did reach the last 4 against both James Wade and Simon Whitlock, Sindelfingen and Riese last year. Keegan Brown's only semi-final appearance came in that incredible tournament earlier this year at the German Darts Championship, where he beat Michael van Gerwen despite a 108 average from the green machine, and also went on to beat Gerwin Price.
Yeah, superb run from him, but he saw off Oscar Perlchek 6-0 in his opening game, and then that winner over MVG in a last leg decider where he really was superb, and he came from behind in that game. Not many people who beat MVG twice on the European Tour in a single calendar year. Could go on and beat him again.
Each of the last couple of legs, he started with 5 perfect darts.
60.
Keegan Brown. Same perfection, of course, yesterday. The crowd had just been treated to a replay of the Price perfect leg.
29.
He really did get in that bubble last night from 3-0 down. Gerwin Price. He will be up against Simon Whitlock in the last match of the afternoon session, and as Dan mentioned at the top of the show, there are only 5 seeds
77.
in the last 16. Price and Whitlock are both seeded and play each other.
Game shot in the second leg.
1-1. A couple of holes to throw, a couple of 18 darters. It is not a lightning quick start, but it's solid.
I think the pace will suit both players.
60.
Kind of similar. Can keep their own rhythm, not going to be hurried or slowed down. Have met just once before. It was in Wigan last year. Noppy ran out a 6-3 winner. I think it would be a safe bet to say it wasn't as hot at Robin Park Tennis Centre.
No, well, it might actually do them a favour being first on. It is hot in here, but it's only going to get absolutely roasting later. Decent crowding, the lights, phenomenal weather outside. It was boiling last night. Didn't stop. Some superb stuff from these guys. But it might be a little easier to play in this opening game of the afternoon session. Noppy's already hit a 170 this weekend. He nearly hit a second one. Stefan Belmont in round 1, so it fall out the bullseye.
They get the chance to hit a second one here. That chance has gone with dart number 1, and Keegan Brown is on
58.
a huge checkout himself.
167.
Not the biggest, but perhaps more difficult.
Different targets to go for. He's hit one of them. Can't find the treble 20. But he's already put a dent in this.
91. Danny require 112.
Could be a break chance here. Danny Noppert needs to find a treble to earn himself a dart at double. He's done that bit. Has to just slightly shuffle across to the right to find a route.
92.
But it's landed too soon.
76.
Single 16. Noppy missed tops. Brown pins it. Break of throw for the former world youth champion. Only a couple of years age difference between these two. Keegan, 26, but has been playing PDC darts for a long time and has been talked up for a long time. It's 4 years ago that he won his senior title on the PDC Tour.
100.
Yeah, a year after winning the World Youth Championship at the O2, in front of a huge, huge crowd there for the Premier League finals nights.
76.
As always, final day of the Euro Tour, it goes as per the draw bracket. So the winner of this game faces the winner of the next game. That's between Ted Everett, another star from the PDC youth system, and Mensur Suljevic, who's just a star in his own right. And one of only 2 seeded players in this half of the draw. The other being Darrell Gurney, winner on the Euro Tour already this year.
First of the match, first of many on this Sunday of Arras action, and Keegan Brown is starting to put his foot down here. Clinical finishing at the start of the match.
21.
Will it continue? Didn't have to bother about attempting for the ball, but just checking his sums.
89.
Tidied up by Brown, who's taken out 63 and 76. With just 1 dart at double in each of those visits. Now he's got 3 at double 16.
140. Keegan required 32.
Couldn't wait to get to the hockey.
Game
To take a 2-leg advantage.
The red Danny to throw first. Game on.
His finishing was very good against Michael van Gerwen. Not as good as it was when he beat him earlier on this year, where it was 100%, but it was very impressive.
100.
And if Keegan can still carry on finishing in that in that manner, more than 50%, he's going to have chances to beat people.
38.
Because in the form that he's been in, you expect him to score pretty well. He can be outscored. If you take whatever chances that come your way, you gobble them up straight away, you can beat anybody, as Keegan Brown has proved this year already.
31.
Suljevic Everett's next. Bunting Derby follows that. Gurney against Watermain. The bottom half of the draw sees the number 2 seed Ian White take on Andrew Gilding. Jamie Hughes against Ron Muhlenkamp. The Battle of the Kings when Mervyn meets Corey Cadby. And Gerwin Price against Simon Whitlock. Time to put Dan Dawson, darts guru, on the spot. Pick a winner out of that lot.
100.
It is difficult, but it's hard to overlook the form of Gerwin Price. He has been arguably one of the best 4 players on the planet in 2019.
Fair shout. Darrell Gurney's the highest ranked player in the tournament, but I think if you look at the bottom half of the draw, you would suggest that Ian White and Price would be the favourites for the title.
Never underestimate Mensur Suljevic. That's the thing, these Euro Tours, we do throw up surprise winners occasionally. Ian White has certainly been a dominant force of late, but Danny Noppert gets a go at double 16. Looks a good guide.
Game shot on the 5th leg. Danny Noppert. 6 leg. Keegan to throw first. Game on.
Well, it was well thrown. It could have caused him a bit of trouble because it did seem to brush the flight and just lose its flight path a little bit, but it found its way into the double.
I'm never 100% confident about how Danny Noppert's darts are going to react to one another, although to be fair this weekend, they seem to be going into the board very straight, very true. Sometimes you do see his darts skewed all over the place at different angles as they enter the board.
Well, that one's perfect for Danny Noppert to follow, and his space either side. Carried on making a straight line. Keegan is Well, I was going to say he's going to be on a finish, but he's
76.
been hindered by the bounce out. Think it clipped a wire.
Yeah, might have caught a bit of the flight as well. It's been a running theme this weekend.
Yeah, not really for Keegan though, and
No.
I do recall a match against Mark Webster at the Grand Slam when it seemed to have more darts fall out of the board than land in it, Keegan Brown.
88.
Well, Simon Whitlock told him to sharpen his points, and he never had the problem again.
Might be a factor. What we've seen this
97.
weekend.
Then you require 142.
142 is not going to go, so Keegan Brown will have the opportunity to restore that two-leg cushion,
44.
but he has
Keegan, you
a decision to
require
make.
92.
Elects for the ball. Now to go back there.
67.
Not exactly there.
Then you require
Slightly to the left.
98.
Would have been better.
It will be treble 20 first start for Danny Noppert. Now it will be treble 19 for double 18. Oh, and he almost
80.
pinched the leg. Might yet get another chance, but the way Brown has been
25.
finishing this match, this weekend, and this year,
Game shot, the
there was a
sixth leg.
sense of inevitability about that.
Seventh leg, Danny to throw first. Game on.
Well, there have been many times over the last few years where Keegan Brown has been playing to a standard where you think,
97.
oh, now's where he goes on and takes that next step and becomes a top player. But he only moved into the top 32 in the world rankings for the first time in his career very recently.
And that after almost losing his tour card.
Yeah.
Shown some real fight, some real bounce back ability, Keegan Brown. Perfect start in this leg, and he's going to really put some pressure on Noppert here,
96.
who you feel has to win this one.
And there you see it, a 96 average from Keegan, outscoring Danny Noppert. Just a two-leg advantage. It is just the one break. He is by no means safe here, but he is the better player, and he has been for most of this contest.
140.
Yeah, looks very, very comfortable. Keegan Brown kind of looks like an old hand, an experienced performer on the stage.
Well, maybe this is the year where Keegan does take that next step up.
100.
Obviously he won a senior
Keegan
title 4
require
years ago.
85.
Double 14. Down for double 7.
71.
Not this time for Keegan.
Danny
This
require
is a monster
140.
for Noppy. And it's a monster he might have to tame. Double 10.
120. Keegan, you require 14.
Gutsy attempt from Noppert,
Game
but
shot,
Brown
the seventh leg. Keegan Brown.
has hit the front and moved within
Eighth
one
leg. Keegan
from
to
the finish
front
line.
first.
3 clear of Danny Noppert. And it has been a
Game on.
reasonably dominant performance from Keegan Brown, which is why Noppert was needing a big finish to try and keep himself in this match.
Well, that's it. I mean, Noppy's missed a dart for a 112. He's missed a dart for a 98. He's missed a dart for a 140 there. But even when Keegan has allowed him those chances, it's been odd darts here and there. And even if Keegan has missed a couple of darts, he's not had 2-3 visits in a row where he's not won a leg. It hasn't been flawless from Keegan Brown, but it has been enough. And he might be making a sprint for the quarter-finals.
And we've just seen a couple of occasions there where he's made a mistake with one turn and then just put it right the next time he's approached the hockey.
That's been he makes a mistake, he puts it right very, very quickly.
40.
There haven't been spells where he's, 2-3 visits or 2-3 legs where he's been consistently poor and allowed Noppert to get on top of it.
59.
It's been enough good stuff, often enough, from Keegan Brown to keep him on top in this.
Again, Noppert playing the role of chaser.
71.
Although he's managed to pat Keegan on the back and say tag in this leg.
100. And you require 132.
1-2-4 is easier than the 1-3-2, but Noppert gets the first crack at it. Treble 19 for Bull. Can he see all of it? He can see that bit of it. And can he see a way back into the game?
Danny to front first. Game on.
Well, what a shot that was from Danny Noppert. He's been needing a finish like that to save his skin in this match, and he's found one.
57.
Perhaps the most difficult dart that he's had to throw all afternoon.
You see Keegan Brown 50% for the match, nearly 50% for the
81.
tournament. Missed a few darts at double in his opening round win against Czech. Danny Noppert, similar for the tournament. It's just those odd darts here and there that he's missed in this game.
It's just a demonstration of the skill that these professional darts players have. That dart at the ball from Noppert, because he knew exactly how far he needed to step, knew how to use the line of the marker in the 25.
Absolutely, it's a superb shot. But what you would say, Danny Noppert, a man who nearly hit 2 170s in his opening game, if you're going to give him ton plus or checkouts around about the ton, or even big ones, and you give him multiple chances in a game like this, you're expecting he's going to take at least one of them.
Yeah.
He's that good.
Well, he had 148 as well in that first match, didn't he?
Indeed, yeah. I mean, if he'd taken everything, he'd have had 3 ton plus checkouts and a 98 in this, and he'd be bossing it. But you can't expect you're going to take out all of them. That's a Keegan Brown type display from Germany when he beat MVG and was hitting literally every double he went for. Brown
will not be feeling as comfortable as he was perhaps 5 minutes ago. Noppert is down to a 2-darter. Keegan Brown has got his sums wrong there. He should have switched.
And you require 80.
Single 18 would have left him 167.
Maybe that's a sign he is a bit rattled.
Or was he trying to rattle Danny?
Didn't work if he was. I would suggest you're not going to rattle many opponents by not leaving yourself on a finish when you could do. It's easier to rattle them when they know you can go out.
Yeah, sometimes players just try and hit the 180, don't they, for the big call, for the big roar from the crowd, and because they just feel that they can't miss, having placed the first couple of darts in there. I'm sure Brown is well aware of what to do on 305, but we don't know whether he just fancied the 180 or whether he didn't really check his score and had kind of given up on the leg.
Well, once again, Keegan has a poor visit, but then hits back with a good one to follow. But Danny Noppert is a player who can catch light. And he's made this close enough where he knows just a little spurt could turn the game his way after being second best for much of it.
96.
Pretty much neck and neck. Who's got the best setup shot? Well, it was a superb last leg decider from Keegan Brown against Michael van Gerwen, and that is a majestic setup shot from the needle. Match darts incoming. A spot in the quarter-finals up for grabs.
And a spot in the World Match Play could be secured if Keegan Brown lands double top, which he does. What a performance, not just in this match, but in qualifying for this tournament. winning a couple of games to get to this final day, including beating the world number 1, Michael van Gerwen yesterday. Keegan Brown can book the B&B. He's heading to Blackpool, and he's heading into the quarter-finals of the Czech Darts Open tonight. Keegan will face the winner of the next match between Suljevic and Everts. He wins 6-4.
What about that? Darts is in a very, very safe place in the hands of our young players today. Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for the marvellous Danny Noppert. Danny Noppert, everybody. Well, let's have a chat with our first quarter-finalist, Keegan Brown, our winner. Well, we've spoke long and hard behind backstage, and you're quite comfortable to take it one match at a time. I'm pleased to tell you, you're into the quarter-final stages. I'm sure you're fully aware of that. And you play the winner of our next match, Mensa Suljevic, Ted Everts.
In all fairness, Mensa, Ted, it's going to be a hard game either way, but I'm just very glad to get the win against Danny there.
You were very patient. You seem to be very patient. I know it's very, very warm, but you seem to be very patient. Is that something you've worked on recently?
Definitely. In all fairness, it's not worth getting flustered, especially in this heat. It's not worth getting flustered, but I just thought if I keep playing well as I can, I have a chance.
You've got a chance. You're in the quarter-finals, and he's our first player through, ladies and gentlemen, Keegan Brown.